order. Do a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Do we have the attendance, Molly? We know everybody's here. Correct. Okay. The purpose of this meeting is to follow up on our last meeting on the shared services panel, which is we were looking for information from different communities and school districts on any ideas of sharing services. And at the last time we convened, I asked that you send any of your ideas into Joanne McKinstry, and so far we've not received any ideas. And so this is just a second plea. Everybody has a form. You need to make the forms out. No verbal. I don't want any verbal ideas. Make the forms out, and please send them to Joanne McKendry. I know that by August of 2018, we need to submit our plan to the state. So, you know, we have approximately less than 1 year to come up with some formulation. And I'm guilty too, because I'm going to send her a form on countywide assessing. I think that's something we really need to look at. Yeah. Countywide assessing. Most of the town supervisors here already share assessors with other communities, and I know there's concern from the assessing community that it would eliminate some jobs. I'm not sure it would eliminate all that many positions, but I think I share with Chestertown, Bolton. Don't you share Bolton? Bolton shares. I don't know if Luzerne shares assessing, but no, you wouldn't have to because you have all that extra sales tax money. But some of us share, and
tourism money. Tourism.
Is that what it was? Tourism money. Okay. So anyway, so we need to come up with ideas. Seriously, we need to come up with ideas. I talked to our colleagues from Herkimer County yesterday, and they have deferred their plan until next year. The things that I've read online, I don't know if all you look at the NISAC information that comes in, but a lot of the information I read online, we're already doing. You know, I noticed Albany County had a lot of sharing services, but there are things that Warren County has done for a long time. The city of Albany and the county of Albany is starting to share. So that's what we need to do. I mean, we need to take it seriously. You can think outside the box. I'm disappointed our school districts didn't make it this morning, but that's okay. You know, but I know in Warrensburg, we even work with our school district on sharing services now. So we need to capture the ideas. We need to get them down in writing and then turn them into Joanne. And if we get enough where we can have another meeting maybe over the winter to try to formulate a plan, we should. But I mean, I'll go around the room and right now, you know, but the only way to make this truly work is everybody put them on a piece of paper and get them into Joanne. But Craig, do you have any ideas? I mean,
I agree with you, Supervisor Garrity, about the property assessment county-wide, looking at how sales tax is distributed based on assessment of value, yet every town has their own assessor. Now, it is a unified system, but of each individual being out there, I do think that there's disparity, and then that affects all of our budget appropriately. And then the other things that we are looking at is emergency medical services.
Oh, emergency, yeah.
And it's a long shot, but something worth moving towards is a health insurance, being able for towns to participate with broader health insurance.
Herkimer County told me that the towns in Herkimer County are going to try to do a consortium on health insurance. Just the towns. They're going to get together, not through the county, but they're going to do it through the town. So, you know, if you would capture those and send them in, you know, that's what they told me yesterday, so it would be good to. Okay. Peter?
Yeah, I think possibly in the area of energy savings, there may be a possibility there. Let me spend a little bit of time with my son this weekend and there's probably something that could be put together, whether it's in the arena of solar farms or something along those lines. But I think there is an economical, cost-effective way to probably put something together in the category of renewables.
Very
Okay, so let me think on it, and let me
Yeah.
try to put something together.
Yeah, if you can just get it in writing and get it to Joanne so we don't lose it, you know.
Just as maybe an interesting observation, it's interesting where you take school systems in various parts of our county, and they're trying to get school systems to somehow get together in terms of maybe a community losing a school system and then going to, maybe a community that's further, a little south, for example. And I'm thinking of Bolton and Lake George. It's interesting how we seem to we share our sports together, okay?
Right.
But that final step, in terms of...
Actually, they share with Warrensburg.
Yeah, I knew you guys, and you guys have done well, in some of the togetherness sports. So, but that's for a community to give up its school system, you're fundamentally giving up your identity, I think. So that's hard, and I appreciate it. So.
Okay. Claudia.
Thanks. I guess in the spirit of this being a brainstorming session, I think I'd just throw out there the idea of police consolidation with the city again. I know there could be something more limited than what has been proposed so far that could work, like the 911 center going up to the county and being consolidated.
Well, I can tell you that we did talk one time about the detective work being shared. I mean, that was one of the things we talked about several years ago, and and certain aspects of the enforcement, the drug enforcement, those type of things. Maybe there is intermunicipal cooperation there, but that was some of the thing where it was going to be fragmented. But yeah, I'm sure it will come up again, and write it down, and we could certainly revisit that.
And the other thought, and I know this has been thrown out too, is having our tourism coordinator in the
Yep.
city coming and somehow collaborating with the county tourism so that we're not so fractured in that.
Yep, that's a good one too. I mean, those are, at least the second one should be an easy one that we've discussed. I know Supervisor Molino, they've talked about that for, what, a year now, Gene? The tourism?
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking. I'm going to just be my...
Yeah, you're thinking how you get... No, you're thinking how you get even with me. That's what you're talking about. Thanks, sorry.
Thanks.
Good thing you're my friend. I hate to see you be my enemy.
That's okay. I relished being here for, 2 months left. What do you got, Matt?
Actually, I'm glad Claudia or Supervisor Brand brought that up. It's something that I've talked about with Gene and you numerous times over the last 18 months or so.
Yeah. We just need to push it, and I think we got to get to a place where if we get it on a piece of paper, and we can come to a conclusion. Maybe that one I would think would be a good one and an easy one.
Yeah, I mean, she'd be a great fit for what we're trying to do moving forward. Actually, more so than what it was looking like before. So that makes sense.
I will assign myself to put that down on a piece of paper on this little sheet.
Okay. Another one would be, right now, the county has done a pretty good job taking small steps in building the shared purchasing amongst the municipalities. And maybe it's thinking a little outside the box here, but I don't think Washington County has a purchasing department the way we do. And if you look out in Onondaga County, they have, I think, 3 counties and 3 cities on one purchasing program right now. They're getting state funding to do that, to make sure that's facilitated.
Good idea.
So I don't know, maybe Warren County can approach Washington County to put something together there.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Never thought about that. Ms. Fraser.
I have nothing to add at this point.
Yeah.
I've listed all the things I would be thinking of.
Mr.
I don't have anything further to add either to what was said. My thing was the
Well, I know.
county assessing.
Just so you know, with Edna, when we come to town sewers, we try to help out now, and we've offered help with Hague on town sewer stuff. I think our purchasing department did us a huge favor by taking on purchasing the chemicals. I know we found some savings with purchasing on you know, the county doesn't use chemicals for the sewer plants, but we do. So they really helped us there. And the other thing my highway superintendent brought to me this morning is that national purchasing, that I think the county's on there's a national purchasing contract that each town would have to join themselves, but the county already does it. I don't think we can piggyback on the county one, but I just throw that out for the town supervisors. It's called National...
NPJ.
Yeah, are you on it?
NPJ? Yeah.
Oh, see, we're not in it, but we're going to join.
Yeah.
So that's good. Thanks, man. Supervisor Merlino?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Even though I'm one above you on sales tax revenue,
Yes.
the town of Lake Luzerne, we do share already school system with Hadley. We share our fire with Hadley. We share our EMS with Hadley. We share library with Hadley, Historical Society, and we also share our DPW in cases of emergency and extra work time. We have an agreement between the two towns to supply manpower and trucks if needed. But we do a lot of shared services already, so it's, I'd like to do more, but we're so way off the track at the bottom of Warren County. It's tough to do something with Lake George or Queensbury, but basically we do a lot of sharing right now. And it's not cheap, so it keeps it up there.
Supervisor Stroud?
Yeah, I have a few ideas. Some I shared before. Some that I've taken from other counties that are looking at the same things. And what I keep saying over and over again are the sharing of animal control. Dog control, cat control, wild animal control. Also, bulk purchasing of LED lighting, possibly a retrofitting of LED lighting.
Yeah, actually, I was watching your meetings because we're going to do the same thing with our streetlights. Is that what you were talking about?
Well, and building lighting too. Street lights, building lights. I don't think the county has any street lights that I know of, but the building lights, certainly. Another thing I noticed too is we need to formalize agreements among all the towns in the county. For example, we helped out with the Bloom Festival, and I got an uh-oh. I said, what do you mean? We're just helping out with the Bloom Festival. You don't have a shared services agreement with the county. We don't. We should have shared services agreements with all the towns, the city, the village, in the county, and with the county. We don't have those shared agreements. We should. I mean, if we have a front-end loader that goes and we call up Warrensburg and we say, listen, our front-end loader shot, can we borrow yours? Or vice versa. We should be able to do that, but we need the shared services agreement first. So we got to do that right away. Joint bidding for landscaping, mowing, community choice aggregation. I know some counties have jumped on this, where the county has worked to try and get, as a county, all the towns and the village and the city, work together to try and get an energy rate that would be lower and cheaper for everybody. We could do a consolidation of our maintenance and repair services. We could, and we're working on this, but maybe we should be working on it a more regional way of having a regional biosolids treatment center. What we could do, a lot of small towns especially, but even Queensbury runs into the problem of doing grant writing. Could we have one source that could do the grant writing, a professional or two that we as towns or city or village could go to and say, listen, we'd like to do a grant for this, but, you are the professional. Well, so it'd be nice to have one center for that. The other thing, too, is it's not legal right now in New York State, but maybe we ought to push for it, is like a healthcare consortium where we're all working together for one insurance policy as a group for all of us, instead of each town and each city and each village negotiating its own insurance agreements. I mean, we're all municipal workers. I don't see why they don't allow that. Maybe we ought to push our state legislators to allow
I think
that.
it was the number of people, right? The last time we looked into it with our broker? Wasn't
Yeah.
it something, Frank?
Yeah, there was a number that you had to obtain.
Number of people?
Yeah, well, there shouldn't be those limits.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. All right, you thought.
Good one, and I know Claudia had a
Yeah.
piqued your interest.
The community choice aggregation, we are going to have the local rep from MEGA come to environmental concerns in November to talk to all the town supervisors. Because that would be a really great way that you can lower your energy costs for everybody, and you can join towns and go together on it. So I think that's an important, I'm not sure we can use that for the county shared services thing, but maybe. And the other thing I wanted to say is I'm pretty sure at the next facilities meeting, Frank is going to talk about switching out the indoor lights here to LED. So
Yeah.
if there are towns that want to purchase with that, I don't know, maybe that would be a time to bring that up.
Good.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, John.
Craig and I just went to the Clean Energy Economic Conference held in the Queensbury with the Adirondack North Country Association. And we were talking with authorities and amongst ourselves that solarization, we could be working in a cooperative way on that effort. Training for solar inspections and things of that nature, we could be working on cooperatively. So Chester, Town of Chester, City of Glens Falls, Town of Queensbury, and others might want to get in on this conversation.
Yeah, I think, Peter, that's
Yes,
what you were leaning
in
towards.
terms of the energy conservation trick, I've always been kind of amazed sitting on this side of the room, and I know this was not your plan, Mr. Chairman, but this is normally where all the Democrats sit on this
Yes,
side.
because the windows.
It's the window. Exactly right. So,
It's planned.
It's planned. No, I wouldn't.
I learned from
I
the
would
old
not
timers.
suggest that you.
I learned from the good old boys about that.
It's in the handbook.
So you look at these windows here.
It was my turn to carry the handbook.
They're literally almost 70 years old, okay? And it would be nice
62.
to have a honest, educated player, that being National Grid, to come in here and put a meter on this window and whatever they do, and give us a cost-benefit relationship, okay? And to see if the Dems can be treated more compassionately.
No, I agree with you. I agree. Right after the election. Matt?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Although according to Supervisor Molino, I'm just an at-large supervisor, not a real supervisor.
Yeah.
So I don't have the access to a lot of these ideas, but all these ideas are excellent, and it
Yeah.
just goes to show you the vast difference between government and private enterprise. You know, something like this seems so easy to do. Why can't it be implemented in a timely fashion? It just makes no sense to me. But I mean, excellent ideas all around.
But I do think now is our opportunity, if we want to push back on a couple of things we're getting stonewalled at the state level, now would be the time to try to push it through to Albany, or at least, through this panel and say, okay, here's what we want to do. Now you got to fix the rules down in Albany so we can do it.
Well, some of the other ones may take some time, but as Stroud brought up the classic, how come we can't do within the county and town? That makes no sense.
Yeah. Frank?
Yeah, well, I'm already sharing my sales tax with a couple of towns here.
About three,
Yeah.
Frank.
Thank you very much. I don't know, there's a lot of good ideas here. The countywide assessing, I'd have to see what form that takes before I could support it. But the EMS, we could definitely use help on that. That would help us a lot, other than that.
Cynthia?
Well, I missed part of this meeting.
Well, we're talking about shared services.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Well,
trying to get a plan.
I would probably support EMS, and I like the idea of trying to work together to get health insurance.
Okay.
And those are two things. And possibly the assessor idea.
Yeah.
Idea.
Okay.
A good thought.
Supervisor Conover, Chairman?
Well, I would say ditto on the rescue squads, particularly on the north end of the county, towns on the north end, although it could be something else. I think some consolidation would create efficiency. Also, I think we could do more on the highway side. We should take a look at our reimbursement formulas for the towns. So, for example, particularly in the, a lot of the towns are moving on brining.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's some 50 miles that the county maintains itself out of its 200 miles. We maintain 150 of those 200 miles. So on those 50 miles in the towns that those 50 miles are located in, perhaps we could encourage the other formula to get the towns to brine, and it would reduce our costs, not only in terms of material, but also costs and overtime. So I think we could do more even on the highway side.
Good. Mike, do you have anything, or just as an observer?
Just observing. I think all the ideas are good.
And I know the gentleman, you're from the union, I forgot your name.
Jack and
Jack, any comments on what you've heard today, or?
The health insurance being made a concern. We're in discussion negotiations with Thurman after it came up that there's only 12 people, so you can't get a good rate for 12 people.
Gotcha.
The more people you have, the rate can smooth out a little bit.
Right.
Are you looking at 30-something % increase? And normally what I'm hearing in the 19 areas I represent is anywhere from 7 to 10, and he's counting a 30+% increase. So numbers would bring that percentage down.
Christie, Joanne, anybody else who have any thought of anything as we went around the table? Still a lot of good ideas. You know, get them in writing, get them to Joanne, and I would think that now that we have something, a little template to work on, we can get back together maybe in February and just try to formulate it a little bit further. And we'll keep updating you on the information, and we'll keep watching. NISAC, you know, we'll try to get some of the other counties' plans that they put together. Like I said, I saw a lot of it, you know, that I've seen so far. We've already done, and so we'll just continue to capture that and try to move forward. I know we have to do it. You know, I was not a big proponent of it, but now listening to a few things, you know, makes me want to, you know, we should push a little bit further. And we're all going to look for savings. I mean, as long as we have this ad cap, you know, we've got to look to run more efficiently and garner up as much savings as we can for the communities around us. And who better else to help one another? I know John brings up the formalized MOU. I know, and this is not to make it a spot, but I know that each one of the communities, we do an MOU with state of New York. I think everybody does for their DPW now, right? Do you get asked that, Frank?
We were asked, but we don't have any state roads.
Okay. Every one of us we all sign a MOU with the state, so, and it's limited on what you could trade back and forth, but it's a state step in the right direction on sharing. So, you know, we never ever had anything with New York State DOT. Now we do every year. We get the form and we sign it, and so we get a little help. If you have a major washout or something, they can provide you with materials and stuff like that. We never had that again, so I think the state is taking it seriously. Yes, John?
Well, we could make this easy.
Yeah.
That basic MOU or shared services agreement that you're talking about that the towns and the city and the village have made with the state, that same basic form, you could simply add the county, all the towns, all the city, the village name, and just have each town sign it.
Yeah.
And it can be that easy.
Yeah. But you know the one I'm talking about. Yeah. It's good. Well, I appreciate everybody coming this morning. I know we have a budget meeting at 11. But I thank you for taking time. The other one I will mention, I know, Claudia, you're big on the electric cars and stuff, and I think the city's doing a couple things on that. We actually have a guy in Warrensburg who owns electric cars, so I don't know what he plugs into, I guess, the house, but I was surprised to hear him talk about it. And
I went to two sessions yesterday on the electric vehicles, and one of their recommendations was whenever you're redoing a parking lot, you should put the conduit under now, so that you have that available and you don't have to rip up the parking lot. And of course, I thought the parking lot back here,
Yeah.
that we just paved. Oh well.
But I think that
We
we'll-
could do something.
Yeah, obviously, there's
smaller-
an area where you could run it. But
The-
I was surprised to have, somebody in my community, and this is not a millennial,
Yeah.
and we got it because of the
There are
state.
people in the city. Yeah.
On the topic of electric cars, if you look what's happening internationally, we're in this country, we're the great lover of strong engines, fast cars, but China, I think in 20 years, is basically mandated that they have all electric vehicles, okay? And there are different countries in Europe where, that's kind of the direction. I probably tend to be the guy that loves the gasoline engine, okay? But maybe but things are changing, okay? And because I guess we have to.
Okay. I thank everybody for taking the time to come this morning, and we'll declare this meeting over. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.